What's going on YouTube? It's me, Vonnie. Today, I'm going to be reviewing 10 new rap singles that came out last week. Before we get into the video, make sure you like and subscribe to get more Vonnie videos. The first song we got here is Best Friends Only by DC the Don. This is his third single since he dropped his 2024 EP 2012. Let's get into it. Okay, that was Best Friends Only by DC the Don. The song is very chill and very much a vibe. The beat's simple, but it flows well with what's going on here. It's kind of a heartbreak anthem, which is DC the Don. That's like half his songs. He's either raging or he's like heartbroken. And I like it. There's like dance undertones that, really makes it feel sad, but it's also preppy at the same time. It's a good contrast, yin yang, At the end, there's these high-pitched vocals that really bring it together nicely, like a little bow on top. Really vibe with it. I think it was better than all of the DC the Don songs on 2012, if I'm being honest. It was a surprise. I didn't expect it out of him, but it was real good. I think I'm gonna give it like a 9 out of 10. Next, we got Crazy Hoes by Eam Triplin. I'm a big Eam Triplin fan. I think he's severely underrated. Though he gets a little bit more hate than he deserves, but I am not one of those haters. I am an Eam Triplin supporter. So let's get into this song. Okay, Crazy Hoes by Eam Triplin has another fun beat. It has Eam Triplin's typical unique sound, which I feel is one of the more unique sounds in the underground rap scene. The 808s on the beat are real nice. There's a lot of layers to this beat, but a lot of it kind of just meshes together. But the 808s really stand out and were definitely one of my favorite parts of this song. In the middle of it, it has a voicemail segment, which is like one of the more overused things in rap, but I think it adds to the song here, especially with being Crazy Hoes. It's her talking about that she's not that crazy, so I think it adds a nice little elevating element. Overall, it's a pretty good song. I think I like Stephanie more, which is Eam Triplin's earlier 2024 single, but this is still like an 8.3, 8.4. Okay, the third new single we have for this video is Can't Keep Keisha by DaBaby. I think this is either his first or second single off his new EP. I Can't Believe This is an EP, which comes out next week, I'm pretty sure. DaBaby, he has some bangers. He used to be a lot better than he is now. He's kind of fallen off, but maybe he can get back on the right ship with I Can't Believe This is an EP. Okay, Can't Keep Keisha. Let's play it. Can't keep Keisha off my mind. That is what DaBaby says this whole song. It's his chorus. The chorus is all right. It doesn't really hit the ears well for me. I was kind of just sitting there. It wasn't doing it for me. The beat is simple. It doesn't do all that much, doesn't really elevate the track. And the baby does switch his flow up, which is something that people have been asking him to do, but it's kind of just a monotone, boring flow that he keeps for the full 220 minutes. It wasn't all that to me. Hopefully this isn't the vibe of his album. We can get this, but we need some other DaBaby too. It's like a solid 5.5 for me. You know, it's not terrible, but it's not something I'm like, yeah, I need to come back to Can't Keep Keisha. Our next single is Roll the Dice by Forbats. I know some people don't like Forbats, you know, industry plant and all that, but I actually vibed to some of his music. I thought his last album was like a low 8, high 7, so hopefully he can keep it up here, but it has Lil Baby on it, so it's probably not going to be that good. You wanna lie, so I'm gonna go you got the crack, so you fit. You got sign, make it look nice. And that's why I say that. Look at what time to shit, get it back, she wanna fit. So ain't your mind, so you fit. I would die, so you fit. Ain't your mind, so you fit. Get it back, she wanna fit. Ain't your mind, so you fit. I would die, so you fit. I would die, so you fit. You said the vibe was never said. Just take time, can I be right? I ain't gonna be blind, no, I ain't gonna say relax. As I'm necessary, basis. See, that's much flow, you like this. How about everything that's no violence? You got me crazy, then I'm just out of the fish. How about I hit you half of the gas, I'm on my front, back, like this. I'm the best, man, you might be fish. You want to you wanna lie, so you go you got the crack, so you fit. You got sign, make it look nice. And that's why I say that. Look at what time to shit, get it back, she wanna fit. So ain't your mind, so you fit. I would die, so you fit. I would die. She's so damn fun, you know, tattoos. With my damn vibe, she know that. Girl, you got shot, and I can get it, yo. Nothing like shot, tell me what you into. I'm there, ain't no way we do. Got you, take what it is. I let it in. The way you like you, give me this one time. You wanna lie, so you go you got the crack, so you fit. You got sign, make it look nice. And that's why I say that. Look at what time to shit, get it back, she wanna fit. So ain't your mind, so you fit. I would die, so you fit. Ain't your mind, so you fit. Get it back, she wanna fit. Ain't your mind, so you fit. I would die, so you fit. I would die. Roll the Dice by Forbats is kind of just there. Neither Forbats or Lil Baby had a outstanding performance. The beat is okay. There's an upbeat section of it that's somewhat fun, but I don't think Forbats or Lil Baby really utilized it well. The song is just kind of like that the whole time. Nothing real interesting, nothing real fun. It's kind of just boring. Not my favorite Forbats song or even close to it. It's like a solid 5. It's mid. It's the definition of mid. Can't Keep Keisha was better. Next we got Cybertruck by Meek Mill. You know, Diddy's side chick. If Diddy's Batman, then Meek Mill's Robin. So what are we about to hear in this song? Probably some baby oil, but I don't have high expectations. Let's get into it. Cybertruck is a whole lot of nothing. The song just feels disjointed. The beat is just incredibly basic. It is easily the worst song we've heard so far. I truly don't think I remember a single thing that happened in this song, and I listened to it 10 seconds ago. I've usually been a Meek Mill fan. DC4 is good. Championship's amazing, but yikes. I don't know what that was. He almost picked it up at the end. There was like a 20-second gap at the end where he's like, okay, yeah, this feels like an actual song. But then he sucks again. I can't get behind it. That was trash. It was like a 3.5. 3. Next, we have the first of 2 Tory Lanez singles. Tory Lanez has been dropping the Lost tapes and the Prison tapes pretty much the whole back half of 2024. And I've enjoyed like 95% of them. So I expect nothing less from these next 2. We have Time Away and Topless in Miami. So let's start with Time Away. Time Away is a bit repetitive and not as catchy as the other ones. Usually when I listen to these new Tory Lanez tracks, there's a it factor in it. I just didn't really feel that with this one. It's definitely in the bottom 5 of the new tapes. You know, he's just been away. There's time away. You know, it's just repetitive. The beat was all right, nothing too special. He was all right, nothing too special. It's like a 7. Being generous, yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Like I previously mentioned, we have the second Tory Lanez song here with Topless in Miami. Hopefully it's better than Time Away. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. Topless in Miami is better than Time Away. Not by a huge amount, but it is definitely better. The beat is miles better. There's so many more moving parts. It sounds better. It's more sonically appealing. And it's just much more enthralling. But just like Time Away, it's not Tory's best performance. In this one, he's not as repetitive, but he just kind of takes half the song off. But the beat really carries him. And so, because of the beat, I'm going to give it a 7.5. Next, we got Whitney by Tommy Richmond. Just like the baby, he has an album coming out next week called Coyote. Only two songs I know him by him are Devil Is a Lie and $1 Million Baby. I like $1 Million Baby more than Devil Is a Lie. They're both alright songs, nothing too special, so I don't have too high hopes for Whitney or his new album, but I gotta check it out, the industry plan himself. I checked out one, I gotta check out the other. Whitney by Tommy Richmond probably has the most interesting production we've seen and probably the best we've heard so far. Tommy Richmond himself, his vocals were at least interesting. They weren't my favorite thing ever. I don't think this is quite my favorite genre, but it's still an interesting song that felt different to $1 Million Baby and Devil's a Lie. It's like the same, like one's here, one's here, one's here, but they at least all feel different enough from themselves so it doesn't get repetitive. I would say this is probably the worst of the three songs, but it's not that much worse than Devil Is a Lie. It's like a 7.7, maybe an 8 if, you know, I listen to it like 2-3 more times, but right now I'm gonna give it a 7.7. For our penultimate single here, we have Don't Worry by Kid Cudi and Chip the Ripper. I've been quite the Kid Cudi critic this year. I wasn't a huge fan of Insano. I was even less of a fan of Insano Nitro Mega. A song that both of them are on, Willis, is probably my least favorite song in 2024. So my hopes going into this are definitely the lowest out of any of the songs we heard so far. But I do think Kid Cudi has the most potential to make a banger. He just finds himself in traps where he's making weird music that doesn't really work. But I got hope. So Don't Worry, it's going to be a banger. Don't Worry by Kid Cudi is a surprise. This is one of the better songs that we've heard out of these 10 singles so far. Kid Cudi, he had a rapping portion where it was good, but then he levels up with his melodic portion that really just makes it feel like old Cudi. And then Chip the Ripper comes in and he still has a good performance as well. So there's no one let each other down. I would say the worst part about this is the beat, and that's just, the beat was just kind of there. There's nothing that special. Kid Cudi really made this song into what it was. So I'm gonna have to give it an 8.8. For the last single, we have Count My Bands by Rich Amiri. Underground artist. I haven't been a huge fan of the underground scene, but I have liked a few of Rich Amiri's stuff like Evolution. I like that album. He had One Call. Obviously, everybody knows One Call. So I am pretty neutral on how I think this track will go. If it's good, I won't be surprised. If it's bad, I won't be surprised. Count My Bands by Rich Amiri is definitely in the top 4 of the songs I've heard so far. The beat and production is great, really enticing, really sonically appeasing. Rich Amiri himself, he had a good performance as well. I think everything around this song was just quality. It flowed well, it sounded good. It wasn't repetitive like I find most underground music to be. It was a very good song, and I'm not surprised. Like I said, it would be. If it was good, it was good. That's what I thought. It was a 7.5. Those were the 10 new singles of last week. I think there were some ups and downs. You know, I would say the average wasn't as good as it was, but there were some good songs in there. Could have been better, but there's definitely some songs I'll spin back on. The final ranking for the new singles of last week, we have Cybertruck by Meek Mill at 10 with a 3. We have Roll the Dice at 9 by 4Bats with a 5. Next, we have Can't Keep Keisha at a 5.5 by DaBaby. Then we have Time Away by Tory Lanez at a 7. And then we have Count My Bands by Rich Amiri and the 6th spot place with the 7.5. At 5, we have Topless in Miami by Tory Lanez. At 4, we have Whitney by Tommy Richmond. For the top 3, we have Crazy Hugs by Aim Triplin. Then we have Don't Worry by Kid Cudi. And then the best song of last week was Best Friends Only by DC the Don. So that was me reviewing the new singles of last week. If you enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe so you can come back to some Vonnie content. Shout out Not Brad Pitt.